When you guys first met, you were actually dating somebody.
Yes.
Whoa. So you gained...
Godfrey said, oh.
That part.
Yeah. So you actually gained her up out of her relationship. How was that? Like,
Yo, dog.
what?
Register.
You don't fooling around.
Register to learn skills.
You got game, bro.
You're gonna learn something.
You know, register.
Yeah. So first off, tell me how was that? Because I'm sure that there was the point where you had to make this decision. Like, yo, I'm falling for this dude. I don't know what he did to me, but I'm falling for him. How was that for you?
So it was crazy because I don't think ever in a million years I thought I'd marry somebody from Nigeria. Like he said, like he didn't think he'd marry somebody from America. It's like, who thinks you find yourself here? He made me realize like what this other guy was not doing in like multiple ways. Oh, wow. So it was just kind of like an eye opener.
He's like this. Oh, I guess you didn't notice my hair today. He's like, what do you mean? No, I'm just no big deal.
But I'll give it to her though, and this is where I respect her a lot. I didn't know she even had any form of, feeling towards me, because she never acknowledged, even when she broke up with the guy, she still made me feel like they were still together. She didn't make me know that they broke up. So she broke up, and I was still just hoping that someday, it will come through. I'll get my chance, So I think that is one thing I respect about her, that she handled her business and didn't put me in that mix. Me, I made my intentions clear from jump. I'm not playing around. I love you. Straight up. No.
And there's something, and that was opposite of who I was with. It was like very like, not committed like that, right? So when he came in and was just like, I want to marry you, like, I love you. I'm like, oh my God.
That didn't scare you?
It did at first. No, for sure. It did, because I was just like, all right, relax.
Yep.
But then initially he was starting to show me things from back in Africa, right? He went back home and he was like calling me and FaceTiming me, but like this other guy couldn't call me back, right? So it's like, how does somebody across the other side of the planet make this time for me, show me that he cares, the dedication and commitment, and somebody who's right here can't. So it was like easy. It was just an easy thing for me.
And I read that you actually called Lam and you said, I love you. And you were done.
I lost it.
You lost it. You were crying.
Your magazine girl, look at her now. Don't look at her. I don't mean look at her. Look here, you can go and look at her.
I got you. I got your pen. You better start journaling.
Today, you told me not to look at her.
Why'd you start crying? Because you were a mess.
I cried because for me, it's like, as a young man, sometimes you doubt yourself.
Sure, of course.
Mostly after I've said, I felt what I felt and I knew what I felt was real.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't translating. She was still in a relationship and I had to leave, because it's like, all right, you know what? Maybe it's not even going to happen. But when she finally called and said that to me, I cried because it was like, wow, so this is possible. Yeah. I cried because for the first time, I felt something on that level, and the first stage that could take it to the next level actualized itself, So I felt like, oh, the fact that she's calling me to tell me this, and she said it to her parents, So it's not just it was real. She said it to her parents, and then she's telling me, almost sleep wipe come off from my eyes straight up. I woke up, I was happy, I was, and when I see what we've become today, it just goes to show you that we both never lied to each other.
You both never lied to each other, and I love that. But you guys always had this commitment, because when you guys got married, you guys you moved in Ling's parents' home.
Flat broke.
And the bedroom I grew up in.
The bedroom that you grew up in. And to me, I think the reason why that story resonates with me is because I know that you had a point in your life where you had the highs and you experienced the low financially with your family. And then here you are joining new life with a person from a different country. And you guys come in and, look, I think the fear is that a lot of the modern men feel that the modern woman will be like, oh, heck no.
Yeah.
No, you move into my house.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
But you were down from the very start of the relationship. And you guys have grown this beautiful foolishness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
so for you, what was that like having your husband now in the room that you grew up in?
Crazy.
Don't cry now.
No. Hold on. No. But realist, man. Realist.
That's crazy.
Go ahead.
No, it was very crazy because it's like, how are you married with your husband and living life in your bedroom that you grew up in? There were a lot of feelings. I was disappointed in myself. I was mad. I was disappointed, sad. It just felt like, not that I married him. I was very happy with that, but how did I let myself like be here? I just feel like, we should get married and move into a house, right? Like normal people, I guess.
And then you guys start to grow and build. And then there's the salon.
Yes.
And then you guys started to build this empire. When did you know? Was it before the salon or after the salon? Did you know, like, yo, we've got something special in the way we're documenting our lives?
Yeah.
Before the salon.
Yeah, it was before the salon.
Before the salon. I think it was when, I used to document a lot of the exchanges we used to have just naturally when we were dating. And then it actualized into TikTok and Instagram and everything that we have today. And we were just like, I guess people really like watching us eat.
Did you ever think about, because there were always, I knew some people that did this. There were Africans that would marry American women to get a green card.
Oh yeah, that's what a lot of people thought.
There was that factor.
Yeah.
These Nigerian 419ers, and
he
might be getting something.
Some of my friends were like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, because that was it 90 Day Fiance?
Yes.
Thing?
Oh,
yes.
That thing's been like a big show.
Yeah.
And so you got a lot of African men or people that try to get this green card. I'm sure that was.
A lot of people thought that.
A lot of people threw that to us. A lot of people said that to us. A lot. But then, like I said, at the end of the day, marriage is between two people. People will say what they want to say, what they want to believe, but at the end of the day, we are forever grateful that we never lied to each other. And that's why we're able to build what we have today, because we were both genuine to each other. We're like, hey, this is what it is. It was a big jump for me because, not growing up here, I didn't know, you have this big American dream. You don't know how, when. And then when I look today and I see what we have both built, and one thing I respect about her, I give her flowers all the time. During that phase of our life when we're living with our parents, she was disappointed in herself as a young woman. She had a dream. She thought, she's gonna move right into a nice house when she gets married and all of that. And when all of those things were not there, I respect her so much because she didn't allow the lack of those things stop her from expressing a genuine love towards me. To the point that she's like, hey, let's tough it out. Like I'm not talking about some old woman or some rich woman. No, this is a beautiful young girl, and I know she has to go with she has to do with like what our friends probably think or, stuff like that. But she stood her ground like, hey, I love you. Let's figure it out. And when we decided that we're going to get married, I knew right there that I had found the real one. But then, this is what I would say, because this is where a lot of young men let women like this down. Okay. When a woman loves you genuinely and trusts you, and you don't have your stuff together, it is not time for you to feel like you found a stupid woman. It's not time for you to feel like, she's weak.
Take advantage.
Yeah.
Take advantage of her. Nope. That woman is trusting you and giving you a chance.
How long did it take you before you got your first job and got moving and got up
So
on your feet?
when we got married, our parents actually offered us 6 months. And by then I was already waiting for my work permits to be ready. Then COVID happened.
Oh, shit.
So
6 months turned to 2 years.
6 months turned to 2 years. Now, the first time I wanted to get a job, she didn't want it.
Yeah, I was like, no, I don't want you to get a job.
She was like,
you'll
I
get
don't-
stuck in the trap and you'll never stop working.
She was like, don't get in that American trap. You will never stop
Nigerians,
working.
though.
Yeah, he's like,
But I said to her, I'm not that kind of man. Because right there, I already recognize that this is a very good girl. I don't care if she tells me don't get a job, because she's saying don't get a job, that I should keep chasing my career, my musical career, which, I appreciate that. But at the end of the day, you don't want to ever put yourself in a position where you start stressing kindness.
Yep.
You know, so for me as a young man, it was important for me to show her that, yes, you're kind towards me, telling me not to do this, but I'm not going to stay in the house. I'm going to try and get a job. So my first job in America was with YMCA. It was a volunteer job, and I didn't even get paid, but I took it. You know, because for me, I wanted to make sure I'm leaving the house and coming, getting into the, you know. And after volunteering with YMCA, they offered me a paid gig, you know, a paid position. But while I was in YMCA, I was still applying for other jobs. The same day YMCA gave me an offer letter, Lowe's gave me an offer letter. So I came home and I told her I got 2 jobs.
That's Nigerian for you. I'm telling you.
Left home going to his first job, came back with 2. You're never gonna believe this.
And I graduated college. I have a PhD. I just figure I leave the house.
I just figure.
You know,
God, this is so Nigerian.
You know,
My pops, I remember I was 14, 15. He said, you have to get that job. I said, oh, okay. He said, there's a grocery store. You guys have Ralph's here. It's called Dominic's in Chicago. He goes, there's Dominic's down the street. Go and ask and get a application. Boom, you have 15. Boom. So I said, all right. I went, put my clothes on, walked a couple blocks away. And I walk in and I go to the office. Oh, where's your management office, whatever? And there's this Italian. I remember this dude, Rick, Italian guy, so Italian. He goes, yeah, you looking for a job?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, my father said I get a job. You want to work right now? I go, yeah.
Straight up.
He goes, okay, get him a name tag.
I'm
straight up.
And my father said, how did it go? I'm at work, Dad.
Let me tell you right now. Let me tell you.
I started
he would
bagging.
be so proud
I was
of you.
bagging groceries. He goes, I'm at work. He goes, good, very good.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the guy goes, I'm bagging groceries. That's my first job on the spot.
Yeah.
It was at 12 in the afternoon. I'm bagging. And the guy goes, you got any other friends that are employed? I go, yeah. I called my buddy Kyle. So 50 of all my buddies are like, we're all working.
Yeah.
They go,
bro, that's
just
it.
like, that's so
hysterical.
Nigerian.
No,
It's a
that's
Nigerian
it.
thing, man.
But then she refused. She was like, no, you can't do 2 jobs. I don't want you to fall sick.
One was in Stanford, one was in Norwalk. You had no license.
I had no license and I got 2 jobs.
That's so.
You know, because my head is, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Damn right.
You know, go here, you know, I will figure it out. But she was like, no, just do 1. So I ended up doing Lowe's, which because the reason why I said I'll figure it out was YMCA was during the day. So I was calculating that, okay, if I do YMCA from 9 in the morning to like 2 in the afternoon, come back home, rest for a few minutes, go to Lowe's by 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So she would drive me to Lowe's at 10 p.m. When I say realest one, this girl.
And so he was out of the house a lot, so that was a good thing.
No,
because after a while, family be like, this.
No, but this is the thing.
Still
Another learning moment.
Yes.
I recognized that her parents gave me the greatest gift
Which one?
anybody can give to a young man that just got married. They put a roof over my head. You know, so the first thing I did was I sat there and I said, how can I be valuable to this family? So if I'm not applying for a job, do you guys need help with anything? In a respectful way. I will help to clean the house. It's nothing. It's not written on my body that I clean my in-laws' house. It's nothing. But it's just me showing my appreciation. When she goes to work, before she comes back, in our little room, I will lay the bed because I don't want her to ever come back to the bed not laid. That was my own form of contribution because I never wanted to be in that house and I wasn't contributing because at that point, yes, I didn't have cash, but I have my hand.
Wow.
I can be valuable, you know. So I did things to keep me valuable in the house. So when that job came, you know the funny thing about the Lowe's job?
Yeah.
Because I was serious about it. The Lowe's job, it was her mom that saw it. Because you see, I'm vocal about it.
Yeah.
So they know this guy is really looking for.
You're not just talking.
Right.
I'm not just talking.
Yeah.
They know I'm looking for an opportunity. So our mom said, oh, Lowe's is hiring. Say no more. Lowe's is hiring. I was there. And boom, that's how I got the job.
Now you're gonna get sponsored by Lowe's.
You know? Yeah, wait, Lowe's.
Okay, hold on.
Lowe's, 8 million followers now, over 3 billion views. Tell me something.
That's another 154 conversation in the books. We are bridging culture back to its roots.
From Africa to the world, we're telling stories our way.
So make sure you hit like, subscribe, and share your voice in the comments. This is 154.